Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Noah here today, bringing you another video. And as you can tell by the title, the thumbnail, and all that stuff, today we're gonna be going down memory lane and looking at good old Total Dramarama. Man, oh my god, I don't even know where to start with this freaking show. So, if you don't know, the day that Total Drama got announced that it was coming back for another season, they did not communicate at all with the audience that it was going to be a baby-fied spin-off of the show. So naturally, whenever it was announced, people, including me, were a little upset about that information. I mean, can you blame anybody? They kind of led us to believe like we were getting a real Total Drama season, and then lo and behold, it's a spin-off for babies. This show, dude, is such a freaking fever dream. Honestly, I kind of forgot about it. Real talk, kind of forgot it existed. That's why I wanted to make this video and say, hey, do you remember Total Dramarama? And what did you guys think of it? Because this was nuts. Essentially, Total Dramarama is the baby-fied, aka toddler version of all of the Total Drama classic characters. I shouldn't say all of them, it's several of them, and they are in a daycare. That's pretty much it. We bring back Chef Hatchet, but they replace his voice actor, because why the hell would Clay Bennett want to be attached to this? And then they just completely erase like everything about him, you know? Like, it's not the same person. Like, this is just a guy who looks like Chef, kinda sounds like him, but outside of that, there's really not much else to him. There was a lot of controversy about this because, you know, they recast a lot of the original voice actors and people that wanted to come back for their roles, and they were just kind of like, nah. And you know, that is obviously unfortunate. I'm never a fan of a recast, especially whenever it's not necessary, and unfortunately, a lot of the recasts were not very necessary. Now, with that being said, I'm always down for other people to get opportunities, and so I love that anybody can get a job. It's just, you know, hey, maybe a different character, right? I don't know, dude. What a controversial take that is. But Total Dramarama is a fever dream, to say the least. This show was full of all sorts of stuff, man. I still can't believe that I actually sat down and forced myself to watch all of this show for YouTube. Like, could you imagine doing that? That's like an extreme form of torture. I feel like that should be the next Mr. Beast challenge. Like, last to stop watching Total Dramarama wins $1 million. You deserve it. You deserve more than $1 million if you could sit through 4 seasons of this. All jokes aside, Total Dramarama came out of absolutely nowhere, and it honestly did have a lot of success on Cartoon Network. Of course it did. I mean, this is a show for kids. Kids are gonna sit there and watch pretty much anything. It's a low effort show, no disrespect, but I mean, that's kind of the point of a show like this. Low effort, really easy to write for, and ultimately very easy to turn around and get people to watch it. I'll never forget them trying to tell us before this show came out that this was the funniest version of Total Drama ever. I distinctly remember being told, if you liked the original Total Drama Island, then you're gonna love this. Oh yeah, they are very, very, very similar, clearly. I don't know, man. They were just saying anything to us to get us to watch this, and then they were surprised whenever we were upset. Like, hello, what is this? Now, I'm not acting like this show was just complete garbage. I mean, it had coherent storylines. You could follow it, obviously. It has a point A and a point B, and you get from the start to the finish by the end of the episode. That's the point of the show, and I do respect that they did try with what they were doing. It's just obviously, like, you know, we would have preferred a real Total Drama season. It is kind of crazy to think about the fact that this is a whole different generation of Total Drama fans that have been brewed from Total Dramarama. People that had never even heard of the original Total Drama series only watched it because of this. I mean, obviously, the show was catered to little kids, so it's natural that they hadn't seen the original show. They weren't even thought of whenever it came out, let alone born. And the show follows all sorts of crazy plots. I mean, there's episodes that are them just pulling heists. There's other episodes where it's like some weird fart fairy. I have a whole video on that. That was just, yeah, okay. We're gonna just sell, yeah, go watch that video. I don't need to relive that trauma. Just so much bizarre stuff came out of this, man. They really were just throwing anything at the wall, seeing if it would stick. And you know, like, to a degree, I respect it. They sometimes hit it out of the park, and then there were other times where we were like, oh my god, what the hell is going on? Unfortunately, I do feel as though Total Dramarama definitely hurt the reputation of the company and the show as a whole. I mean, naturally it would. The way that they went about announcing it was wrong, but ultimately, the actual product itself, it just is not a great part of the legacy. I will say it is effective in terms of bringing in new members of the audience, but did they really bring in a lot of new people if the reboot was only there for 2 seasons? I don't know, man. I mean, it's so hard to tell. There's so many different things about it, so many different factors that go into why a decision is made, the success of a show, things like that. Ultimately, though, my main issue with it is if you're gonna do it, right? If you're gonna say, hey, we're doing Total Drama Daycare, which is what it was originally called. It was called Total Drama Daycare, and then they changed it to Total Dramarama. If you're gonna do that, then you need to do it with your chest, right? Like, you need to lock in, go balls to the walls with it, and be unapologetic about it. You need to say, hey, this is an awesome thing that we're doing, and not only is it awesome, but this is what we're doing. So you need to be on board or get off the train, and that's what they should have done. Instead, they just didn't communicate with the fans at all. And furthermore, no merchandise. They don't do toys. They don't do anything. How are you making a show catered to kids and you don't do toys? Do you even know what you're doing here? Like, how? That's like step one, dog. So much money lost on this project that could have been won. I mean, the potential to really take over the game was there. I have never ever in my entire life seen a single Total Drama toy ever on a store shelf. I've barely seen merchandise. Most of the time it's third-party people making it. It's not even the original company, or it's just a very lazy logo slapped on a t-shirt and sold for 45 bucks on Amazon. It's not any high effort stuff at all. And it's like, dog, like, just lock in, like, full send it, man. If we're gonna do Total Dramarama, then be unapologetic about it. Go crazy. I think they saw that outburst and outcry online, and it just like scared them, and they're like, you know what, yeah, we're just never interacting with our audience again, which, you know, is obviously a very great way to maintain fans, and furthermore, just a great way to keep your reputation on hold. And this show has so many fun moments, like, it really does. It's just like, that's why it's just so crazy to me that they didn't like full send it. I mean, why wouldn't you? This is Total Dramarama, right? This is our next big project. Why aren't we gassing it up? Pretty much all of the episodes I feel like are easily accessible online. I mean, that's unfortunately the theme of Total Dramas. They were never good at marketing the show. It was never one that was actually pushed heavily. That is not, and when I say they, I don't mean specifically Fresh TV. I mean just every single person involved. Cartoon Network never gave a crap about Total Drama. They really didn't. They never really marketed it. Like when it first came out in the late 2000s, they did, but up until like recently, they haven't done anything. Like even the reboot, they did nothing. They didn't care. They barely advertised it, let it leak online for a year, and then dropped it randomly, aired it all within just a couple weeks online, and then they get shocked when it has low views. Like, it's just kind of nuts to me that they got this treatment. It's unfortunate, but it's one of those things where you just gotta kind of take it with a grain of salt. I think Total Dramarama, honest to God, the fact that it lasted as long as it did, they were able to have as many episodes as they did, all of that stuff, I would consider it a success for the franchise. I know that that's crazy for me to say, right? Because I'm obviously very anti this show. I'm a 24-year-old man. What do you expect, bro? I'm not gonna watch this. Like, I didn't watch it when I was 16. I'm not gonna watch it now. Obviously, it's not my demographic. I'm not meant for it. I never once expected this to be something that I would want to watch, so don't take that. Like, that is not at all my thought here. I do respect the fact that it did have success for the fact that it was barely advertised. They did a bad job of pushing Total Drama, as Cartoon Network always does, and ultimately, it was not set up for success. So the fact that they went as long as they did, made as many episodes as they did, and a lot of people were able to have full-time jobs because of this show, I'll always have the respect for it in that regard. How could you not? But I do find it funny how this is just like a consistent thing in the fan base where everyone's just like, yeah, it happened, but we would rather just move on from this moment in the timeline. Ultimately, though, I think this is just like a hilarious moment in the history of Total Drama. Like, yeah, Total Dramarama really existed. It really was a thing. There really are a bunch of episodes of the kids just being kids, and they live in a daycare. Like, yeah, that's it. Unfortunately, it was the catalyst for the absolute decline of Chef Hatchet, because this character is just an absolute shell of his former self, and then they use the same freaking design for the reboot. Don't get me started. Don't get me started, people. I think I need to end this video before I have a heart attack. But yeah, that's really all I have for you in this video. I literally just wanted to make this video to say, hey, you remember this? What the hell was that, right? Because what was this? This was pretty nuts. Make sure you guys liked the video if you did enjoy. Comment down below what you thought of Total Dramarama, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. I hope you guys have yourselves a fantastic day weekend live. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Peace out.
Using me to your advantage, but why you feel the need to claim everything is my fault?
Leonard likes this post.